Welcome to NASPAA Site Visitor training. To understand what it means to be a NASPAA Site Visitor, you must first understand the mission of NASPAA accreditation. The mission is to ensure excellence in education and training for public service and to promote the ideal of public service. One of the ways in which NASPAA works to ensure excellence in education and training for public service is through accreditation. NASPAA accreditation is a voluntary, peer review process that programs in the field of public administration, public policy, and public affairs go through to determine whether the program meets a certain threshold of quality. Who determines whether a program receives NASPAA accreditation? The decision-making body for NASPAA accreditation is the Commission on Peer Review and Accreditation, also known as COPRA. COPRA is a 12-member peer review board made up of 11 academics and 1 practitioner member who determine whether the programs up for review are in substantial compliance with the standards set forth by the field. COPRA is considered a specialized accrediting body, meaning it has a specific focus. So who does NASPAA accredit? NASPAA accredits master's degrees in the field of public affairs. Currently, NASPAA accredits 172 programs at 162 schools, and will be, for the first time, reviewing programs internationally in the 2012-2013 cohort. There are 2 main themes to NASPAA accreditation. The first is that it is mission-based accreditation. The program's mission is a primary focus in COPRA's review of each program, and each standard is reviewed in relation to a program's mission. Standard 1 will look more closely at a program's mission and its role in accreditation. Another main theme in NASPAA accreditation is public service values. The commitment to public service values is what distinguishes NASPAA accredited programs from other degree programs. NASPAA expects an accredited program to be explicit about their public service values and how students learn the tools and competencies to apply and take these values into consideration in the professional activities. Under the current standards, NASPAA has a new approach to accreditation, one that is a competencies-based approach and focuses on the knowledge, skills, and abilities that students are expected to have when graduating from an accredited program. This is a move away from the course-based coverage approach of the previous NASPAA standards. The competencies will be covered in depth under Standard 5. It is also important to note that NASPAA accreditation continues to have a formative and evaluative approach to accreditation, one that focuses on programmatic improvement over time. The purpose of the site visit is that the site visit is one of the most critical and sensitive parts of the review and accreditation process. Site visitors are the backbone of the NASPAA accreditation process and perform a valuable service to the public affairs community. Site visitors perform this service by being the eyes and ears of the Commission. We will go more in depth on how site visitors act as the Commission eyes and ears in a few minutes, but first let's talk about who can be a site visitor. A site visit team is made up usually of 3 members: a chair, who has been on at least 2 visits and has a good understanding of the standards, an academic, who is someone who is an associate professor or above, and a practitioner, someone who has a graduate degree and 7+ years of experience in the field of public service. The purpose of this site visitor training is so that potential site visitors can gain knowledge of the peer review and accreditation process, the current accreditation standards, and site visitor expectations. We also expect that site visitors will redo their training every 5 years, as the interpretation of the standards by the Commission is subject to change. I'm now going to go a little bit into the accreditation process and where the site visit team fits in the accreditation process. When a program is up for review by the Commission, they submit their self-study report. The Commission will review their self-study report and respond with an interim report that makes a site visit recommendation of whether or not the program is ready to move to a site visit. During that time, in between when the program submits the self-study report and when the program receives their interim report, NASPAA staff will be working with the program and potential site visitors to start determining what a team might look like. Once the program has decided whether to proceed to a visit, they can respond to their interim report and begin setting a date for the visit. The team of peers the site visit team will visit the program site and submit their site visit report. COPRA will use all the information contained in the self-study report, interim report response, as well as the site visit team's report, and render a final decision on the program's accreditation status. There are 6 main objectives of the site visit. They are to confirm that the program has a clear mission and goals that it regularly assesses, to review data and information, and to verify and clarify as needed the description of the program as presented in the self-study report, to provide an occasion for the exchange of information among colleagues and for learning about innovative developments responsive to common problems and opportunities in a common field, to assess the program under review against its own stated goals and objectives, to assess the program against the NASPAA standards, and to use the site visit findings as the basis for writing an evaluative report to the NASPAA Commission on Peer Review and Accreditation. Prior to the site visit, there are steps that will be taken. First, potential site visitors must attend and complete all necessary trainings. Then potential site visitors must be matched to a program. Once they've been matched, NASPAA staff will conduct a conflict of interest check with the program and with the potential site visitors. Potential conflicts of interest include whether or not you attended a university, have gone up for a job position there, as well as other types of conflicts. And then the program and the site visit team will work to determine dates for the potential visit. How does the matching take place? Matching is done by COPRA, and they analyze the program and what type of site visitor fits with the program. For instance, a site visitor who is at a political science department is most likely to be matched with a program that is housed in the political science department. If you're at a program where the nonprofit specialization is an important focus of your program, you'll most likely be matched with the site visitor who has some expertise in the nonprofit sector. How long does it take to be matched? Matching time varies depending on the size of the cohorts and what the makeup of the current cohort is. So it can happen very quickly after training has been completed, or it may take a few years if your particular skill set doesn't match with programs in the cohort for a few years. The pre-visit responsibilities of a site visit team member is that they should have, by late December and early January, finished any training and reviewed all materials necessary to have an understanding of the standards. At least 30 days prior to the visit, they should have made flight arrangements and confirmed with the program their hotel accommodations. At least 2 weeks prior to the visit, they should have had a phone meeting with the site visit team members and the host institution, and at least 1 week prior to the visit, they should be completely familiar with the program's self-study report, interim report, and interim report response. Every member of the site visit team is expected to have a total familiarity with the applicant program's self-study report. The typical schedule for a NASPAA site visit is 2.5 days. The schedule of the visit will be set by the site visit team chair in consultation with the program. The team usually arrives late afternoon on the first day, meets with each other over dinner, and prepares for the next 2 days at the program site. The second day of the visit is a full day at the program, with the third day usually finishing by late afternoon and the team flying out the third night. During the 2.5 days you are at the program, there will be 2 main tasks the program will be completing: interviews with various stakeholders of the program and reviewing of the program's records. During a visit, you will meet with and interview the program's faculty, students, alumni, advisory board, and university administrators as appropriate. The NASPAA Site Visit Manual has example questions you may consider in preparation for your visit, in addition to those that may be raised by the program's interim report. Reviewing the record the program's record, is another important aspect of the visit. Under the current standards, NASPAA is collecting less information up front in the self-study report and relying more on the site visit team to review records with the program. This is particularly true with Standard 5. You will hear more about the reviewing of records in each standard's individual module, but for example, a team will want to review faculty meeting minutes, rubrics used for competencies assessment, and course syllabi, to name but a few. Some questions that a team should consider prior to the visit are: what documents are necessary to view as evidence of the program's assessment of student competencies? What process would you use to see if admission records and transcripts are being described, or as described? And what other additional documents might be relevant to a particular visit? It is important for the site visit team to consider these questions prior to the visit, as giving indication to the program of what records you want to view while on site so that they have them available will assist in the time of the site visit being used most efficiently. The role of the site visitor in interviewing stakeholders and reviewing documents is to be the inquiring arm for COPRA and to present and interpret the applicant program to COPRA. It is not up to the team to determine if a program is in compliance with the NASPAA standards. The role of the team is to provide the evidence and context to allow COPRA to make that decision. Site visitors should be cognizant of the confidential nature of the accreditation review. The site visit team should not disclose or discuss the nature of the program's accreditation review with anyone outside of the site visit team or the COPRA liaison. The team should also show sensitivity. The site visit is meant to be a cooperative, not adversarial event. Fundamental to peer review is the recognition that excellence in public service education can be achieved in diverse ways. Great care should be taken by site visit team members to avoid statements of how it should be done or how we do it at our institution. Such expressions can easily be interpreted in a fashion that detracts from the objective reviewer posture each site visitor should assume. Each site visit team will be responsible for completing a site visit report for the Commission following the visit. The purpose of the report is to provide the Commission with the information it needs to make a decision regarding the program's accreditation status. It will be important for the team to provide as much concrete evidence as possible. Site visit reports should contain information regarding what the team is seeing on the ground, not the team's interpretation of what they are seeing means. For example, the team should not include information in its report like, the program is in the early stages of assessment. It's difficult for the Commission to understand what the site visit team means by early stages. A more factual statement, and one that would be more helpful for the Commission, would be one such as, the program has defined their universal competencies and has identified how they plan on measuring those competencies, but has not yet started measuring the competencies. And they plan to begin measuring the competencies in the fall. Having that more detailed explanation will assist the Commission in the review of the program and have a better understanding of what you might mean by something as early stages of assessment. All members of the team should be involved in the development of the report, though the ways in allocating the drafting responsibilities of the report may vary. The team should make an effort to come to consensus on issues where possible. In the event consensus cannot be achieved, then a statement on the diversity of judgment should be included in the report, as well as the factual data, along with as much factual data as possible. The chair should notify the program head when the draft report is completed and ready for review. The program head will make any comments regarding factual issues which the team would consider incorporating into the draft. It is ultimately up to the site visit team to determine whether or not the program's comments will be incorporated into the report. Once the site visit team has completed the final report, the site visit chair should notify the program and NASPAA staff that their report is completed. NASPAA staff will notify the COPRA liaison. The timeline for submitting the report is that the draft report is due to the program 30 days following the visit. The program will then have 2 weeks to come up with a response to submit back to the site visit team. The site visit team will then have 2 weeks to complete the final report, and then distribute the final report to both NASPAA, the program, and NASPAA will send it to the COPER liaison. As part of your site visit, you will have expenses. You're expected to exercise the same care in incurring expenses during the site visit that a prudent person would exercise if traveling on personal business. Site visit team members will submit their receipts to NASPAA. Alcohol is not reimbursable as part of the site visit. You will receive your site visit expense form, or you can find one on the NASPAA website, and you will submit that form along with your receipts as soon following the visit as possible, but no later than 30 days. You can submit your expense form and receipts to NASPAA, scanned or in hard copy, either is fine, but do not submit them to the program. NASPAA will bill the program for the entire site visit following the receipt of each individual site visit team member's expense report. You can find additional information that will assist you in preparing for the site visit on the NASPAA website, such as the self-study instructions, the standards themselves, resources for site visitors, and white papers that explain COPER's interpretation of the standards up to this point. And one of the main things that a potential site visitor should be familiar with is a site visit manual, which has all the information pertinent to the site visit. Thank you for your interest in the NASPAA accreditation process, and we look forward to working with you in the future as a site visitor.